welcome back to another episode of the Toxin-Free podcast, where toxin-free living meets real life. As always, I'm your host, Wendy. I'm an environmental toxins attorney turned clean living coach. And today, we're just going to get rid of all of the overwhelm. And if you're somebody who is brand new to toxin-free living, first of all, welcome. It is a wonderful place to be. But also, I kind of say this like how I talk about my teenagers. I'm like, I can't even imagine what it must be like to grow up with social media. Like when I was a kid growing up, everything was like pictures taken and text messages. Like, oh my God, I would have been a disaster. I kind of feel that way about social media and the internet and the non-toxic living space. Like, I'm so glad that I'm not jumping in right now because that space is so overwhelming, so polarizing, full of a lot of things that aren't true, very fear-based, and there's just so much information. There's so much information on the internet, and it's so hard to figure out what's true, what's not true, what should you truly be concerned about, and what are the things that you should actually pay attention to that matter to your health. Because let me tell you, I follow a lot of people, and I've unfollowed a lot of people that talk a lot about wellness and biohacking and non-toxic living that are just so over the top that I am like rolling my eyes into the back of my head. Like I can't even believe. And thousands of people watch those things and they consume that information and then they just go into total overwhelm, right? Flight, fight, freeze, all those things. And it just feels like this overwhelming, stressful thing to jump into. And that's literally the opposite. It's the opposite. It's the opposite of what you should be feeling when you start lowering your exposure to toxins that are contributing to making you sick. You should feel empowered. You should feel joy. You should feel relief. It should be this like fun. I always tell people it's fun. Can we just make it fun? I feel like it's fun. Maybe just in my world, we have a good time. But I just am so glad that I'm not having to jump in and try to learn in this environment. But if you're listening to this, you may be that person where you are jumping into toxin-free living. You're realizing and recognizing, you're hearing that toxins in your products, in your home, are contributing to health issues and can contribute in the future to health issues if you're not already experiencing them already. So I want this episode to be like, if you were a beginner, what should matter, what you should care about. And I'm going to make it stupid simple. I'm going to give you the first 5 things you should do. And you might actually be surprised at what I'm going to say. And there's a lot of people that might disagree with me, but that's okay. I'm going to tell you why I think what I think. And we're going to make this fun and we're going to make this simple. So let's dive in. Hey friend, real quick before we dive into this episode, there's something you need to know. This entire podcast is funded by you. You will never hear paid ads or sponsorships on this podcast. Like, not ever. Why? Because I believe in full transparency. And that means only sharing the things that I actually love myself. When you do hear me talking about something that I love and you use my affiliate links, you get a small discount and I earn a small commission. That helps keep all of my content completely ad-free. And that means that anything I talk about or share is aligned with you and me and not sponsors. So to be clear, no weird promos, no brand deals, no paid ads, just the real stuff that I use, brands I love, and literally what I probably used this morning. So if something that I mentioned feels like a fit for you, click the links in the show notes. It's a win-win and it helps keep this space truly ours. Ladies, we need to talk about clean perfume. And I don't mean the fake clean perfume. I mean like the real clean, 100% botanical, no toxins, nothing messing with your hormones, and no migraines happening. I know you know how hard that is to find. And when you do find it, you feel like you're just wearing a bunch of essential oils and they don't even last very long anyway. So when I had the opportunity to work on a 100% botanical perfume line that actually smelled like perfume, oh my gosh, literal dream come true. And it's officially here. Wild Notes Discovery Sets are available right now. Head on over to the link in the show notes and get your discovery set today. Use code Wendy10, you're gonna get 10% off. And here's the best part. When you get a discovery set, you're also gonna get a $20 coupon. So when you wear all of those scents and you find the one that's your favorite, you can use that $20 coupon code towards your first purchase. And in case you're curious, my 2 favorites, I'm currently wearing Sweet Decadence layered with Fireside Citrus. It's like sweet and smoky and sexy and sophisticated and completely clean. I cannot wait for you to get your hands on these. And when you get them, hop on over to my DMs and tell me which one is your favorite. Number 1, filter your drinking water. That's the number one thing. Absolutely the first thing everyone should do when they are looking at how can I reduce my exposure to toxins? Because your drinking water out of the tap is probably one of your biggest contributions to your toxic load. And one of the reasons why it's so important isn't just because of what can be found in your drinking water. Everything from chlorine to fluoride to heavy metals to pharmaceuticals to birth control to all kinds of things, plastics, PFAS chemicals, forever chemicals, they're all found in your tap water. And the thing is, you drink water all day long. You should. I hope you do. I hope you drink water all day long. So, not only is it a place where you get a lot of toxic exposure just in general, even if you were drinking like one big glass of water, but you are probably drinking like eight, right? You're probably consuming drinking water all day long. You are cooking with that drinking water. So your drinking water becomes just this really big point of exposure. And in my opinion, it should be the very first thing that you address. Now, over on my toxin-free shopping guide, I have all my top water filters. And I'm not talking about a Brita filter, okay? Basic filters like Brita that get rid of like chlorine contaminants and maybe some total dissolved solids that make your water taste better, but they're not actually removing like a lot of the chemicals and the toxins that you should be concerned about. Get something that is a high quality water filter. If you want to know what contaminants are actually found in your water, you can go all the way back to episode number 4. I think the episode is called Are There Toxins in Your Tap? And you can learn how to look up what you have in your water and also what kind of filter is best for you. I personally believe that if you're going to get a reverse osmosis filter, which removes everything, you need to have a remineralizing filter or you need to put minerals back into your water because RO water that does not have those minerals put back in will not be hydrating to your cells. And that is really, really important. So I have a list of all of my favorites on my shopping guide that I'll link down in the show notes, but you do not have to bust your budget. So if you are just, on a budget, there are filter pitchers that are on the list. You can go to those first and just do what's in your budget. But as far as like priority, filtering your drinking water and should be your number one thing. That should be the first thing that you do. Okay, number 2, in your kitchen, what are you cooking on? If it is a non-stick pan, that is your number 2 thing. You need to stop cooking on non-stick pans. Okay. So PFAS chemicals, which are forever chemicals, are part of a class of toxins that are contributing to endocrine disruption, weight gain, reproductive issues, and a whole host of other health issues. The problem is when you cook your food on a non-stick pan, you are exposing yourself to those chemicals, especially if it's an older pan, especially if it's scratched. And I understand that this is one of those hard things where people are like, cooking on stainless steel is not easy. I agree with you. And there is a trick to the whole butter, egg, nonstick thing on stainless steel. It's a pain. I get it, right? We love convenience. I totally understand where you're coming from. Cast iron, it's really heavy. A lot of you have to learn how to cook on it. You have to season it. You have to take care of it. And so I have a hack for you. Okay. If you are somebody who is still cooking on nonstick pans, my advice is do not buy one of those non-toxic nonstick pans like Caraway. Okay. They're not going to last. I'm telling you, the Our Place, the Caraway, the Green Pan, all of those non-PFAS, the ones that say no forever chemicals on them, no PFAS, non-toxic, they're not going to last you. You're going to use them for a couple years and then the coating is going to be off of them and they will not work anymore. Everything will stick to it and you're just going to have to replace it anyway. However, there is one pan sitting over in my kitchen right now that is all I use. I cook on it every day, every single meal. My kids cook eggs on it. Like it is the one pan that we use for everything. And that is Our Place's Titanium Pro pan. And what makes it super amazing, it's going to last like 70 years. You can cook up to 700 degrees. This thing is indestructible, but there's no coating. There's no nonstick coating. And yet the pan is completely nonstick. You still have to use an oil or butter or whatever it is you're using. But they actually use grooves, like stainless steel grooves in the titanium to create a surface that is naturally nonstick without any coating. So all you need is one pan for your kitchen. And it is convenient and it is nonstick and there's no coating. It's completely non-toxic. You can throw it in your dishwasher, you can throw it in your oven, and it's literally the only pan you need. So that's my advice to you is the titanium pro pan. It is literally listed at the top of my cookware guide. I have been using and reviewing cookware for years, and it's like the one pan I'll never give up. Like, don't touch my titanium. I actually have two now. I have a bigger one and I have a smaller one. I have two. So that's number two is you want to stop cooking on nonstick pans. Okay. All right. Number three. Number three is a lifestyle thing, and maybe you don't even do it. So maybe you can just skip to number four. But if you are somebody who goes to a coffee shop and drinks hot liquids, tea, coffee, whatever it is, out of disposable cups, please stop. This is one of those things where all of the plastic and those PFAS chemicals are leaching from those paper cups, everything that it's lined with on the inside. And every time you pour hot coffee in it, all those microplastics and all of those forever chemicals, you're drinking them. They leach right into your coffee, your tea, your chai, whatever it is you're drinking, and you're consuming it. And a lot of times, what I hear from people is they're doing that multiple times a day. I know I did when I used to work in an office years ago. I went to Starbucks on my way in and also on my lunch break. Twice. I was drinking it twice. And so, you're going to see me, like if you follow me on Instagram, I got a lot of flack when I was in the Dominican Republic on vacation. I showed myself drinking out of a disposable cup. Well, guess what? I was on vacation and I'm not going to carry a ceramic cup around with me all the way to the Dominican Republic and ask for refills at the resort we were staying at. So I'm not like 100% crazy about this, but if you're drinking it every single day, which most people who are doing this and drinking coffee out, they're doing it every day. And so Starbucks now you can go back to bringing your mug. I know they stopped doing this for a long time after COVID, but I was just in my local Starbucks like 2 weeks ago and they're serving back in glass mugs and the plates and everything. So you can just bring your own in and refill it. I promise it is not the end of the world. I promise you will get used to it. You're not going to miss your paper cups. And it's just another way to not consume these forever chemicals and these microplastics. So that's number three. All right, number four. And this one is going to save you a ton of money. Get rid of all of your toxic cleaning products. And unless you are purposely buying non toxic cleaners, you probably have things that are in your home like Clorox, even Clorox wipes or bleaches or glass cleaners or Windex or all of these surface cleaners in your home. You don't need any of them to clean your house whatsoever. You can go ahead and get rid of all of them. But you probably also don't realize that even if you're not using them and they're just like sitting under your cupboard, they're actually releasing toxic VOCs, synthetic fragrances, chemicals you want to avoid, even when they're sitting under your sink. They are contaminating the indoor air of your home. So you don't need them. Literally. At a minimum, please go move them into your garage. Go move them into a place in your house where you're not going to be inhaling, what's coming out of them. Because just like the first three things that I talked about, where it was what you're drinking and what you're eating every single day, the other thing that is a significant contributor to your toxic exposure is what you're inhaling in your home all day long. Americans spend way too much time inside their houses. Actually, it's not just Americans. Everybody, mostly, if you're in a developed country, you spend way too much time indoors. And our indoor air gets polluted by things like cleaning supplies. Now, here's a hack. You only need one cleaner concentrate to clean every surface in your entire house. That's it. When you go buy cleaning supplies, you're buying water. Like those spray bottles, they're 90% water and they're between like 5 and 10% actually cleaning products. So you can get a cleaner concentrate. I personally use Thieves Cleaner. It's like literally the only thing I clean with in my entire house. You use a tiny little capful in a spray bottle and you fill it with water. And I clean everything: glass, windows, floors, marble countertops, everything, bathtubs, showers. Like you do not need a different cleaner for every single surface in your home. So if you have a cleaner concentrate like Thieves, also Earthly has a concentrate, and I have some more options on the cleaning page of my Toxin-Free shopping guide. And all of this will be linked, by the way, in the show notes. It'll be super easy to find all of my favorites. But if you use that and you maybe have some baking soda nearby in case you want to do some scrubbing, that's it. That's all you need to clean your entire house. That's what our grandparents used to do. And that's what everyone before us used to do. And then all of these chemicals and all of these toxins came in and all of these disinfectants, and we don't need them to clean, and they're polluting our indoor air. Now, if you wanted to make, let's say I have my Thieves cleaner and I have a bottle of it. If I wanted to make it a true disinfectant, let's say there are, somebody in my house has norovirus or the flu or whatever. If there's something going around and I just want to make sure that I'm disinfecting those spaces, all I have to do is add 2 teaspoons of hydrogen peroxide to my bottle. And that is a EPA certified amount that counts as a disinfectant, and it's non-toxic. That's it. So I just saved you a ton of money. You don't need any of that stuff that you probably own in your home. You don't need any of it. All you need is a cleaner concentrate, which is going to save you a bunch of money. It's going to be like $1 a bottle versus I think you're probably if you're buying stuff at the store, it's at least $3 to $4 a bottle. If you're trying to buy things that are non-toxic but aren't quite clean, like 7th generation and Mrs. Meyer's that still have questionable ingredients in them, you're paying like $6 per bottle and it's mostly water. So ditch the cleaning supplies. You don't need them. Just get a cleaner concentrate, get a glass bottle, and have some hydrogen peroxide on hand just in case. And that's all you need to clean your entire house. And number 5, the last one, we're going to ditch all the synthetic fragrance. And the reason why this is so important, this is just like the reason why we're ditching our cleaning supplies, because they contribute to all of the things that you're inhaling when you're in your home. Okay. So candles that have synthetic fragrance, Glade plugins, room sprays, toilet sprays, anything that has synthetic fragrance in it, you don't know if it's not full of endocrine disruptors. And I have a lot of podcasts where I talk about synthetic fragrance and endocrine disruptors, and I'll link those below if you want to go more in depth on the ingredients that are actually found in synthetic fragrance. But it is a lot of reproductive toxins, a lot of endocrine disruptors, a lot of things you do not want or need in your body, as well as toxic VOCs. And so, because again, we spend a lot of time in our homes, synthetic fragrance contributes to a lot of our indoor air issues. And so, going through and getting rid of all of those things, you don't need them. You don't even need to buy anything to replace them. Now, you just open your windows. You just open your doors. You can make your house smell good. You can use some baking soda on your carpet. You can vacuum. There's a lot of things you can do if you are using them to mask odors. But if you really wanted clean fragrance, there are options. Grow Spray, again, over on the home fragrance page of my Toxin-Free shopping guide, I've got options for you. Grow Fragrance makes room sprays. If you're somebody who wants a room spray, you want to spray your couch, all it is water and essential oils. It's great. It works fantastic and it's super clean. You can diffuse essential oils. If you're watching this on YouTube, I've got my Aria diffuser behind me. I'm diffusing my allergy essential oils. If you didn't listen to the last episode on my seasonal allergies and how I manage them naturally, that's what I've got going right behind me. And my house smells absolutely amazing. I've also got a bunch of candle options, clean candle options that use essential oils and natural fragrances and don't have any synthetic fragrances in them. So you can make your house smell good without those fake synthetic toxic fragrances if you want to, right? But this is just another place where you could save a bunch of money by just opening your windows and enjoying the fresh air. Now, you probably noticed what I didn't talk about. And I didn't talk about skincare and hair care and deodorant. And yes, when you are on a journey to decreasing your toxic exposure, those things matter eventually and at some point. But I want you to think about this. You're drinking water all day long. You're eating food that you cook on your pans all day long. You're inhaling the air in your home all day long into your lungs. You probably put your skincare on your face twice a day, right? So when it comes to exposure and the things that make the biggest difference, the things that you should prioritize and you should pay attention to first in the beginning of your journey, it's going to be those 5 things that I just talked about. So let's wrap all of them up. Number 1, filter your drinking water. Get yourself a good quality drinking water filter so you can be drinking clean water. Number 2, get yourself a pan that you can cook on, that you can be happy with, that does not have PFAS forever chemicals. We call them Teflon. It's not technically the chemical Teflon, but they're like Teflon. You don't want to be using nonstick pans, you want to be using something that is not PFAS. And so I love my titanium Pro pan, but if you're using cast iron or stainless steel, those are also great options. Number 3, if you're getting that coffee to go, stop using those paper cups. Hopefully that is an easy one. Number 4, swap out your cleaning supplies. Get yourself a single cleaner concentrate, save some money, and get rid of the toxins that are in the air in your home from your cleaning products. And lastly, ditch the synthetic fragrances. And here's the thing. If you do those 5 things, your toxic exposure is lower than probably 80% of the general population. Those 5 things can make a huge difference. And once you've got those 5 things down and those are just a normal part of your life, then you can continue on your journey to get a little more toxin-free-ish every day. I hope that was helpful. Thank you so much for joining me today. If you're watching this on YouTube, go ahead and click subscribe. And in the comments, let me know which one of these was the hardest one for you to do. As always, I appreciate you listening, and I'll see you next week.